David Andrew Weeb, founder of Spark Infinity niche-based Facebook group. David, what is going on in Spark Infinity?
Spark Infinity has been growing pretty rapidly since January. We started with literally 4 or 5 members, down to well over 1,400 people, serving creatives and creators, poets, artists, visual artists, musicians, actors, actresses.
What should members of Spark Infinity be prepared for? What are the live shows about?
We like to interview people and get a sense of who they are, the kind of things they do, highlight them, and especially their amazingness, their personality, their superpowers, whatever makes them great. That's what we like to highlight in those conversations.
So how could members of Spark Infinity also benefit from Bump Global?
For one thing, there are so many amazing heart-centered founders of various niche-based Facebook groups that if you wanted to be interviewed, you could just put yourself in the middle of the storm and find all kinds of groups to be featured in and interviewed in all day long. And the other thing is, if they have the desire and the work ethic to build their own niche-based Facebook group and blow it up, that's another opportunity that's waiting for them. And I only see things growing from there.
Welcome to Spark Infinity Office Hours, where creative journeys unfold in real time. In these intimate sessions, our hosts open their creative playbooks to share fresh discoveries, current experiments, and hard-won insights from their personal artistic paths. Whether diving into recent breakthroughs or working through creative challenges, each office hour session offers a raw, unfiltered look at the creative process in action. Join us to explore the practical tools, mindset shifts, and unexpected revelations that shape our ongoing artistic evolution. The quote of the day goes something like this: efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. Who said that? Peter Drucker. Today's date is October 16th, 2025. And if you happen to be watching this on any other day, you are much better at time travel than I am. And you need to show me what your tricks are. I've got a few updates to get into before we continue today's conversation on multi-platform presence and growth. We chose that term specifically, originally, or should I say, the way it is termed largely in mainstream resources is omni-channel marketing. And I consulted with Claude AI, and I asked, what's a better term for omni-channel marketing that creatives would understand or creatives would relate to better? And that's how we ended up landing on multi-platform presence, which I like. I think that's, in a way, I think it's actually a better way to think about it. As you can tell, I've got lights now. The only thing I'm missing light for is my face. So we're getting there in terms of the look, the feel, the professionalism that we're looking to cultivate. Doing it well, it's a lot of fun to actually piece together all these pieces of gear and spec it out and decide what needs to be in here to make it look better, even better than it has in the past. But man, I feel like, based on last week, I'm like, I feel a little bit out of practice with this stuff. It's crazy how fast. I've been giving all kinds of presentations this year. I've recorded all kinds of podcast episodes, and I've spoken to different audiences, and it's crazy sometimes how fast you can start to feel a little bit out of practice if you don't show up and do these consistently. But it does feel nice to get back into the groove. Couple more things. I'll add the banner right here. If you want to join this conversation, there's no Q&A session or anything going on right this exact moment. But once this presentation concludes, it really is an open forum. If you want to be spotlighted, if you want to be featured, if you want to be part of this conversation, weigh in, share something with us, that's the link to go to. That's it. It's as simple as that now. livewithandrew.com. That's where you're going to go. I am going to pull up our banner for the day, or should I say the ticker tape. So there you go. Now, let's get into what else I've been up to. So I've been working on Indie Career Formula, and the membership is coming October 20th. The graphic on screen, as you can tell, is from the Indie Career Formula newsletter. The newsletter is going to be print and digital. It is going to be included in the membership. So, having served musicians for a long time, although I think my Spark Infinity group will by now know that I'm here to hang out with you no matter the type of creative endeavor. It honestly doesn't matter whether you're a dancer or a bodybuilder or an entrepreneur or a creative or creator or a writer or a poet or a musician. I'm really serving all of you in what I'm doing at this point, and I'm excited about that. So, Indie Career Formula membership, which is coming. The website's already up, by the way. If you were wondering, if you were curious, and if you wanted to get a sneak peek as far as what I've been creating and what I've been up to, you can literally go there and you will find it. But indiecareerformula.com is where that would be if you were curious to know. And if you just want to keep tuning into my spoilers, or my teasers, I should say, you're welcome to do that as well, which I have been posting inside the Facebook group. But you can find links to Indie Career Formula from my website at davidandrewweeb.com as well. So the membership is for anyone who identifies as an independent creative or creator, anyone who identifies as a creative in some way, shape, or form. Yes, studio ready, Sunivana. Isn't that awesome? It's a lot of fun. I'm not sure. Hopefully that audio is working well. But yeah, great to have you here, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this one. So the Indie Career Formula, I'm getting distracted, but the Indie Career Formula membership will include the print newsletter, the digital newsletter archives, one of my books. Yes, I will send one of my hardcover books to you personally. Members only forum, exclusive audios, and 4 of my courses. Again, that's coming October 20th. So looking forward to sharing more with you. Yeah, and that date is nearing. In fact, it's a little too near for comfort, but I'm sure we'll get our act together by then. So let's continue the conversation we've been having on multi-platform presence and growth. And today I wanted to talk about the tools and apps that enabled us to get the kind of results we did. Volume's low, interesting. Okay. Well, I can probably bring it up within the software itself. Yeah, I can. And hopefully this doesn't make me distort, but that looks much better on my screen. Okay, so that should sound a lot better. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the tools and apps that enabled the type of growth that we got, that I shared about last week. So if you missed last week's live stream, all these do go on our YouTube channel as well. And you can find our YouTube channel at Spark Infinity Live. So go check that out. I'll give you a little more context for today if you need it. Okay. First tool I absolutely have to share about. I'm using it at this exact moment in time. It's StreamYard. It's my go-to for live streaming. I do and have used other tools, but I really wouldn't choose anything else given the choice. I love its multi-streaming capabilities. How many sites you can multi-stream to simply depends on which tier you choose of StreamYard. But it has multi-streaming capabilities to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Periscope, which is technically X, Twitch, and other custom destinations. Just you need to set those up manually, but like Facebook groups and stuff like that, but it totally works. I love how the content automatically backs up to your content library within StreamYard. It even can create transcripts, although I think you need the highest tier plan if you wanted to create transcripts for you. But that's a really handy thing to have. You can multi-stream to 8 different destinations simultaneously at the highest tier plan. So I'm seriously thinking about this. I mean, now's the time for us to go viral with Spark Infinity, don't you think? I think we're on our way. So I think more people should join in. We should have a larger audience. We should have donations going. We should have comments flowing in constantly. I think it's time we went there. Of course, there are other comparable options to StreamYard. And again, I wouldn't even say that StreamYard was the crux of our strategy, because we were talking about creating clips last week and shorts and reels and distributing those across various platforms. But without the long form content, without first streaming, we wouldn't have any content to share out there. So that's how that works. Other comparable options are available to StreamYard. I think Restream is almost virtually the same thing. It might have slightly different interface, slightly different graphics, or default graphics, or default themes and styles, I should say. But aside from that, it virtually does the same thing. It's just a matter of preference. What do you like? What do you want to use? Next on the list, and I hesitate to even share this one because of how awesome it is, OpusClip. This is really the crux of it. This is the 80/20. This is what allowed us to produce the type of results we got with our shorts within, what was it, 3 months? We launched them in July. So July, August, September, and it's now halfway through October. So in about 3 months, OpusClip helped us get most of those views. And what it does is, and I'm pretty sure it's AI powered, it will break down your long form content into clips automatically. You don't have to choose the clips. You don't have to watch the full half an hour or full hour of your video or whatever it might be to figure out where things should be sliced. The AI automatically does this for you, and it's quick. It's not instant, but it's quick. When it's done doing that, each clip gets an SEO score. And what that is it's basically AI telling you how well it thinks those little clips are going to be doing on the various social media channels. That's handy. I love that. I only use clips that are over 80, but it generally produces enough that I don't even have to think about. It might give me 20 or 30 clips per video that I can easily use that are above a score of 80. You can schedule them, all those clips, directly inside OpusClip, and it's quick and it's easy. And so I just love the efficiency benefits of this. It can schedule to the main platforms that you would even think to do: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And I'm telling you, a lot of these have features I don't even know about. I'm pretty sure StreamYard has features I don't know about. I'm pretty sure OpusClip has features I don't even know about. But this is a monthly bill I don't even think about. That's how cool it is. That's how good it is, as far as I'm concerned. Let's move on to the next one. So again, if you want to do what we did and start to get thousands of views on your clips within a few months, check out OpusClip. It's pretty cool. Another tool that I really like, and I kind of think of it as a scheduler for short-term content, although it isn't exclusively that. You can pretty much customize to do what you want to do with it. It's called Fedica. It gives you very extensive reach across a variety of platforms you might otherwise not be able to reach, including some Web3 platforms, but popular ones. Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Mastodon, Pinterest, PixelFed, Threads, which was cool to me because I wanted to start experimenting with Threads last year. That's one of the reasons I chose this. And TikTok, X, and YouTube. So for me, anyway, the way I used it was short form content and stuff that you would probably typically think to post to X. I know a lot of character limits and things like that are kind of going away. They're not as prominent on a lot of social networks anymore, but still there are character limits on plenty of networks, which is why I used this. And I think I wasn't scheduling everywhere, as you might expect, but Blue Sky, LinkedIn, Mastodon, Threads, and X, I believe. So 5 platforms, but you could distribute your content more widely. The best thing about Fedica isn't just its reach, which I think is pretty awesome because I love being able to reach obscure networks that might be a little bit harder to reach. But it's that it allows you to build a reusable content library and posting schedule. So you don't constantly have to make new things, but occasionally it's still a good idea to add new content, right? Because it depends on what you've already put in there. But you can put a post in there once, save it in a specific category like updates or evergreen or blog posts and have Fedica automatically roll out that content forever. And that's what I really love about it. I am not using Fedica right now, but I do like it a lot. Honestly, wasn't seeing much traction or much point in continuing with platforms like X or Threads, but who knows? If I wanted to experiment, or if I just wanted to do it for fun, or if I wanted to give it another go, I would turn to Fedica. It would allow me to distribute my content across a vast array of platforms, and I'd be pretty pleased with that. The next one I have experience with as well, Meet Edgar. I think it was pretty much the first of its kind. And like Fedica, it has a reusable content library and posting schedule. It allows you to post to Facebook, Google Business Profile, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Threads, and TikTok. That's more platforms than they've ever did in the past. I think they used to offer pretty much Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and maybe Instagram. Instagram was added later too. So they didn't used to have connectivity with all those platforms. That's cool. Really glad to see that. They have 2 plans now. I think when they first got started, they didn't have 2 plans. There was only 1 tier that you could subscribe to, but they have 2 now, and you can choose depending on your budget and what works best for you. Again, this is another one that I haven't. It's great, and I really have no complaints. I've subscribed to it 2 or 3 times at different times. Didn't use it, consistently or forever with total continuity, but I did use it multiple times. I'm not using it at this exact moment in time, but for multi-platform presence and growth, Meet Edgar is killer. You have to keep loading up your content library with more stuff and more stuff. A few hundred posts, after a point, it just repeats the same stuff. And so it's a good idea to have thousands of posts, not just hundreds of posts. Hundreds is a good starting point, but not enough, if you want to maintain a strong presence. I've explored and experimented with multiple others. Some of these are like the old guard. They have been around forever. I think some of them might even be like the original multi-platform presence growers or schedulers, if you will. Buffer, super popular, super easy to use, very powerful, well worth it. And I would say it's great for all types of content, really. Hootsuite, same thing. It's been around forever. Stable platform, works great. Very reliable. I've experimented or played with eClincher and Social Pilot depending on the client I was working with. I don't have much to say about those. Of course, there are also some premium products out there that you can do crazy things with, and measurements and inboxes and all that kind of stuff. You might want to check, I think Sprout Social being one of those. That might be worth checking out as well. And one that I played with and I was really subscribed to almost forever once I learned about it was OnlyWire. This is definitely an old guard tool. It's now defunct. It's not available anymore, but it works pretty great in terms of just automatically dripping new content out everywhere for you. Almost worked like a blog post distribution tool. You just connect your accounts, and when you have a new blog post, you connect your feeds, and when you have a new blog post, it'll just blast it out to a variety of destinations. Now, certain networks didn't really like that anymore, and they might shut you down, but most networks don't mind too much. So that was a great tool. One thing that really struck me as pretty interesting in this conversation about multi-platform presence, and in the broader market, it's referred to as quote-unquote omni-channel marketing. So it's just really another way of saying being everywhere, or having a presence everywhere, right? The conversation always seemed to be about, at least in kind of the mainstream thought process, email marketing. Now, I will say, building a list is essential. What type of list is kind of up to you, but it should be a list that you own in some capacity. your list is the primary value of your business. I mean, think about it this way. Facebook would not have purchased Instagram for the software. Facebook could have built it easily. They bought it for the audience. So your audience, your list, and you should have user data, or you should have their emails or their addresses. I really don't care what it is. You need to have something, though. It could be their phone numbers so that you can text them, preferably everything, to be honest. Get, like, over time, not like you have to ask for all this information up front. You could just get their email in exchange for something free. And then you can promote your product to them, and at that point ask for their address and send the product to them. And then later you could ask them about, hey, would you like to get updates via text every once in a while when we have new things rolling out? But you do need a list, and it's a good idea to set up your email marketing, but it's not, to me, it's not really an omni-channel marketing tool or multi-platform presence tool. I think it's one that you have to put into the mix. I think it should be part of your stack. In and of itself, it can be a little bit limited in what it can do. I will explore a couple of ways in which email marketing could be considered a multi-channel marketing tool. And one of those is that it does let you publish. Many platforms, in fact, I think all of them, they do let you publish your email campaigns and at a specific URL that belongs to whatever company. It could be Kit, it could be MailChimp or whatever. And those campaigns can be shared to social media. They could also be shared from your website. I think Austin Kleon does that. Austin Kleon has all of his email campaigns linked, and you can go and look at them. So that's one way you could consider it a multi-presence growth tool. The other way is that, and I certainly don't think it's all of them, but some email marketing services are allowing you to send text messages now. Of course, you still have to have your subscriber's phone number, or else you can't send text to anyone, or you're just really going to send it to their email addresses. And we all know we should be creating and using and sending content that is tailored to the particular platforms we're using. So that's not always a great idea. So email marketing, yes, do it, please. If you haven't started building an email list, do that. If that's the only thing you take away today and you haven't been building an email list yet, do that. That's going to be huge for you. It's pretty much your retirement plan as an artist or an independent creator, so you need it. But I don't know. It's going to be a little bit limited in omni-channel marketing now. Like, you need it in your tool stack, in the total cohesive whole of a tool stack, but you don't necessarily need it. I don't know how you're going to accomplish multi-platform growth with email alone. That doesn't make sense to me, because the very idea of having a list or having a subscription form, without a website, what are you going to do? How are you going to direct people to that email list in the first place? I mean, you can do it from social media, don't get me wrong, but you have to be thinking about that kind of stuff too. So that's what I have for you today. That's our presentation today on multi-platform growth, and specifically on the tools and the apps that you should check out. I've been feeling a little bit under the weather this week, and this has been not attacking, but my lungs feel a little bit strained, and it's not been a lot of fun. But that's the main thing. It's not like I'm coughing and sneezing all over the place, and I think my body's doing a pretty good job of fighting it off, but I'm still feeling a little bit fatigued. But I'm here for a little bit longer just to hang out with you. So if we have any comments, let me check the comments. Would you like to join me now? You can do that. Here's the link to join me right now. We can have a conversation about what I just talked about. Or if you have questions or some thoughts or some ideas to share with the community, I'm here. I'm open to it. You can jump on the live now. It really is easy, believe it or not. All you've got to do is make sure your audio and your camera is connected. Most laptops have both built right in. the ideal circumstances that you have a proper microphone and a proper camera like I do. But even if you don't, modern laptops and more modern smartphones tend to do a pretty good job of that. Let me drop that link in the chat as well. So livewithandrew.com. If you want to join me on this live stream right now, ask some questions. I'm happy to answer anything you might have, or if you just have some comments or some thoughts you'd like to share about multi-presence growth and how it's been going for you. I did not anticipate how difficult of a term that would be to say, multi-presence growth. I shouldn't be having so much trouble with it, but it is what it is. Let's see if there's anything else in Facebook that we need to catch up with now. Any comments, any thoughts? Looks like we're doing well. Nope, nothing new. Well, this has been fun, and we're going to continue this conversation on multi-platform growth next week. So make sure to tune in again. This thing happens every Thursday night. I'm always here to hang out with you, and sometimes my unreliable co-hosts also join me. It's good when they do, because I tend to enjoy these group discussions when they do happen. They don't happen quite as frequently as they did when we were first getting started, but things do change over time, and we're just trying to adapt to the changes as they come along. Really appreciate you watching. I'll see you again next week. Have yourself a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Bye for now.